Ricardo, these creatures are very, very strange.
Yeah.
They're anomalous. I don't know really what I'm looking at, but you have done DNA testing on this creature and this creature. Tell us what you found.
What is that? And they told me that's the fairy. We've talked to various people about, John in Revelation describing locusts that have wings. And I have pictures of creatures that look exactly like that. And if you look back to John's time during Revelation with his limited use of language, it's very uncanny that that's, to me, what he's describing. And these creatures are here now.
The DNA sequence was made from 5 different molecular biology laboratories in several parts of the world. And the common results has the DNA is very similar to DNA from humans in 98.5% similitude.
The Metapec creature is a hybrid. The other creature that I show you is a hybrid, and that's something very important. Because I believe they are experiments. What kind of experiments? Why? I don't know. But we have a physical body, and we can analyze that physical body and prove that something, an intelligence is behind this experiment. I don't think it's good or evil. I think they have their own interest. I think they are not interfering with us, at least not massive. They are probably taking some people, some analyzing. I think they are doing their own experiments for their own agenda.
The legs, the feet.
Okay.
But this creature have another, is the wings. We have an X-ray of this creature.
You have an X-ray of it?
Yes, we have an X-ray.
What did the X-ray show?
And we can see the structure of the bones related with the structure.
So this is not a hoax?
No.
It is not a hoax?
Not a hoax.
Because an X-ray would show that it was a puppet or a mold?
No, this is a model. And we have a sample of tissues of this creature, and we sent to DNA molecular laboratory. Not found a concordance with DNA from the mammals or other creatures.
So both the mitochondrial DNA and the nuclear DNA, no matches at all?
No match.
Since the TSA confiscated samples given to watchers of the ferry 3 years ago, we were unable to test it until recently. Jaime had Ricardo take new samples. They were flown in from Mexico in 2016 and arrived safely this time. The new samples were tested by 2 DNA labs. However, since the ferry had been immersed in formaldehyde for several years, none of the labs were able to derive any DNA from it. Since there are hoaxes of fairies on the internet that we knew of, we needed to make sure that this creature was real.
The man who found it is a 13-year-old who didn't know what it was, who didn't ask anything for it, and didn't have any kind of knowledge about extraterrestrials, fairies, or anything else.
Nothing like that.
He just saw an opportunity. He wanted to know at the beginning what it was, and then afterwards tried to get 1 penny or 2, but nothing more than that. I mean, consider that this young kid would have the knowledge to do something scientific like this,
Sophisticated.
to create something like this is absolutely impossible. He found it on the side of the highway. He was traveling from Guadalajara to Mexico, and he saw it. And he told me that it was clear that was very recently dead.
There were 2 X-rays, a front and profile view. They show a complete skeletal structure. There was a break in the ferry's left leg that looked like it had been repaired at one time. The skull of the creature was detailed. The hands and tiny fingers appeared in the X-ray as Ricardo had described. The actual head of the fairy had pointy ears like Spock, or like what you would find on a gargoyle. But there were several white dots that seemed to not have anything to do with the fairy, but may have been added later. We didn't know what these dots were.
is filled with stories of legendary heroes and treacherous villains, of fantastical creatures and wondrous places where nature and magic live in perfect harmony.